Alright, so we're going to be looking at the base of the PS3, and again, this is the heatsink. This is the entire heatsink, by the way. It's a big ass fucking brick like this. That's where the fan goes in the bottom here. This is the hard drive bay, and here's the two heat sinks, one for the GPU and one for the CPU. This is where we're going to be putting those two things. So, first things first, this little black rubber thing, make sure it's right here on this square. Don't let it be anywhere else. It's a little tiny kind of like protective rubber base. So, should look like that. So let's grab our board. Alright, so we now have the board. Here's the board. You can see that I have applied the thermal compound to the GPU and CPU. And simply what you're going to do is take this and flip it over like so. Just like that. Alright, so take this, flop this over. And you may notice that there's some tarnish. Don't be alarmed. This is just glue. It's not the board frying, it's glue. Thank you very much. So, here we go. Goes in like this. Pop this in like so. And just let this go on down. Like that. There you have it. Now there's that. Now, the next thing you're going to have to do is we're going to have to take this over here. Remember our little piece part? We have to take this and pop this back on there. Now, let me remember which way this fucking goes. Do this way. Alright. So you want to have it looking this way? Or, wait, no, wrong way. Never mind. Alright, so this little square is where the power supply is going to go through. So we're going to take this and we're going to pop it up like a book. And we're just going to fold it on down. This ribbon right here. Make sure that it goes through this little hole right here. Up like that. Pop that on down. And it should just snap into place. There. All snapped in, ready to go. Alright, so now what you want to do once you get this on here is you want to take your nice little heatsink pieces, the covers, and you want to place these on and put the screws through. So I'm going to place these on here like so.
God damn it, dude. Alright.
I'm going to pop the screws in like this. Take your other screw, put it through. Take your screwdriver and screw those on in. And screw these in gradually, like a little bit for each one. So just kind of screw that in like that. Screw the other one a little bit more until they are snug. And proceed to do the same with the other one. Alright, so now that you got both those on, we'll flip this over now. And we are going to place the fan back into position. So let's take the fan here. We got the fan. Now flip this over like so. And you're going to line these up as they are meant to be. So, what we do is we take these. There's one, you'll see 3 circles, so 1, 2, 3, and you'll see a notch. The notch goes in this center post right here, and the screws go here, here, and up here. So we're going to just pop this in the notch like that. Pop that, set that down in there. And we're going to take our 3 screws for the fan that we had put away in the proper order so we don't get confused with all of our screws. And we're just going to screw these in like so. So put your screws in and I'll be right back. Alright, so once your screws are in, we're going to come over here and we're going to plug the fan in. So take a PS3 right here and the fan plug is right here. Make sure that this end of the plug, the front end of the prong, not the prong, line the prong up basically with the slide for the power to the fan. We're gonna line that up like that and pop that right in like so. So there it is, and we're gonna flip this back over now. Now, seeing that we have flipped this back over, it's time to take the back and pop the back on, I believe. I'm going to take this back like this. I'm going to stand this upright like this. And I'm just going to pop the back right back on. Line it up with the 2 notches. And just push the back on just like that. That's how it goes on. There's a notch here and a notch here. You're going to want to line up the lip and tongue. It's the backwards compatible. Again, 80 gig is set up the same way. And we have our power and our ground right here, as you can see. Alrighty, now that we have this section like this, we're going to have to pop the bottom half in. So here we go. Just take your whole thing like this and pop it into place. And it'll just kind of fall right into place like that. Alright, so now that we got this like this, we're going to put our screws back in. So let's remember, the long screw goes here, shortest screw goes here. Here's the long screw. We're just going to pop that long screw in right now. So I'm going to take this wires and get this out of my way. And I'm just going to screw these in, and I'll be right back when the rest of the screws are in place. Alright, so now it's time for the power supply. So grab your power supply, this beautiful fucking thing right here. And we're going to take this power supply and just slide it on. Now be sure that these 2 prongs right here down the bottom, they have to line up with these 2 instead right here. So just line that up and push it on down. Now what you're going to want to do is take the power cord here and plug it into the back. Probably a hell of a lot easier to do that when it's out. So just take that out, pop it in, make sure the ground lays down like so. And the ground wire will go underneath this fin in the back, and just go ahead and pop that on down. Now let's focus on the ground real quick. Focus on the ground. Now the ground has a screw with a washer on it, the only screw with a washer on it in this whole process. So I'm just going to take that screw and pop it down on there on the ground. Screw that down into place. So that's down into place. The ground is down into place. Now I'm just going to put 1, 2, 3. And also 1 and 2, 3 in the front. So 3 screws in the front and 3 screws in the back. I'll be right back when those are all screwed in. Alright, so once you get the power supply all screwed in, you want to make sure these wires set down beneath this lip here, and make sure that this is plugged in, and also the front plug, which is this right here. You're going to line it up with the plug, this one, the top one right here. Line it up like that and slide it on down.
I wonder what will happen if it was to fly.
Now what we're going to do is take the antenna and the board. I'm just going to pop this board in with the antenna real quick. So what you're going to want to do, flip this around like that. This groove right here is going to line up with that. So I'm just going to slide that on in here. This goes down the bottom, slides up over the top. Slide this in like that. I'm actually going to unplug this to make it a little bit easier. And this goes all the way back over here like this. It lines up with the grooves. So I'm going to screw this front board in first. So let me do that real quick. Alright, so now what you're going to do is you're just going to flip this flap up towards you. And we're going to push this ribbon in. So put the ribbon down and through there like that. And there will be grooves on this. So you just kind of got to push it on in. Slide it into place and push the door down. And now I'm just going to plug in the power from the power supply again. And I'm going to take this modem and screw it up here. So let's screw that in real quick. Just line it up with the grooves and take the screw and pop the screw in there. Alright, so now that everything's pretty much back into place, the next thing we have to put in is the amazing Blu-ray drive. So let's take that Blu-ray drive. Now this Blu-ray drive doesn't even screw down or anything, it just kind of sits here. So you're going to be looking at it this way. This plug is going to be going in this plug right here, and this ribbon is going to be going into this bracket here. So we're going to just pop that in there like so. I like to leave this on its side like this to make it easy. Just go ahead and slide that on in, make sure the flap is up, and then once it goes in as far as it possibly can go, just put the flap down. Flaps down, sitting flush. Then we just take this and flip it down like this. Line it up with the grooves. And plug the plug in. And there you go with that. So now that that's in there, you can also kind of just pick this up and give the rivet a little snug just to make sure that it's in there properly. Now it's time to put the top half of the PlayStation 3 on. So you're going to grab the panel, take the panel, here's the front part, just like that. Okay, so important thing to remember when putting this on, put it towards the front first and close it like a book. And just kind of give it a little smack it shut. And then put all the screws in. Now remember, this one marked with the S up top in the top right corner from the front of the PS3 is the smaller screw. So you're going to put that small screw in first, and then I'm going to go ahead and, so here's the small one. Just going to go ahead and put that in there, and go ahead and put the rest in. I'm going to put one there, take one, put one here, take one, put one over here, this one, and this one. I'm just going to go ahead and slide that all in. Screw them in. Now it's time to put the top panel on. So this top panel, you can see the notches. They are quite difficult to find out which way this goes on for the first. But pretty much just slides on, and then you just slide it up. And there you go. PlayStation 3 is written towards the disc tray, if you read it correctly, like that. So we're going to just take this over here, and we're going to remember our torque size. I recommend leaving it in the screwdriver. And we got to take the screw and pop it into the top. So let's do that right now. Alright, so once you get that screw in there, I'm going to take your little plastic piece and just pop that on in there with the fins to the top side of the PS3. So slide that in there. And now it's time to put the hard drive back in place. So grab your hard drive, set it towards the back of the PS3, put the flap out, slide the drive on in, slide it back into place, put the fin down, take your little blue screw, and screw that into place. Again, remember that screwdriver that we used. It has to be that size. If it's not that size, you're going to strip the screw, and then you're going to have to pray to God. And I don't want to hear that shit. So, screw that in there. Take the PS3 door, slide it in, pop it into place, and there you go. We have a rebuilt PS3, and now it's time to pray to God. Alright, so now the moment of truth, whether I'm degraded to a total idiot or a fucking genius. So, I'm going to take my power supply, and I'm going to plug it into the back of the PS3 here. We see the red light come on. It's a good sign. It means power is getting to the board. And let's see what happens when I press it. Holy crap! We have a green light. You, my friend, have successfully fixed a PlayStation 3. Just to be sure, there's no disc in there. Totally responsive. Thanks for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe. And now we're gonna go to another segment of the video with my fucking face in it finally, for me to have a few words to say. Alright, so here's the man behind the mask. Like I said before, rate and comment and subscribe to my channel or whatever the hell you want to do. And if you care to subscribe, you will see subscribe up here at the end of all my videos. So be sure to click there. As I fucking told you to. Well, what else is there more to fucking tell you other than just fucking click right there? Because I'm awesome. So, I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. That's like probably going to be like 3 fucking videos unless I manage to put it in all in one video, because apparently I can upload videos that are half-hour long now. So this video is going to take me probably the rest of my life to edit. But that's besides the point. Other than that, thanks for watching. I hope this helps you. Again, this was a tutorial on basically taking apart a PS3, putting it back together, re-syncing the GPU and the CPU to the motherboard, applying the thermal solution, and also reapplying the heatsink, and as well as fixing the red light problem, and also this will work with the yellow light as well. It's just the yellow light. Be sure to remember this. The yellow light is just the GPU crapping out. When it's a red light that's solid, it's just the CPU that craps out. Now the CPU, how you judge the difference? The CPU, you can actually see the bottom of the processor chip through the other side of the board. The GPU, you cannot. So, because you can interchange processor chips for fucking CPU speeds and shit like that, because a gigahertz processor manages your CPU. If you don't have a brain or know what that is, use Google or refer to more of my videos, because I will tell you everything you need to know. So, in the meantime, but again, like I said, yellow light, GPU, red solid light, CPU, red light blinking is both of them. So, this was, you know, a bad case, but we fixed it. We're all good to go. And yeah, so rate, comment, subscribe, and I love all of you guys. Not really, because that'd be kind of fucking weird. So yeah, peace.